Hello, everyone. How's it going? It is me, Victoria Baxter, the LSDR coach for life, singles, dating, and relationships. I hope you all are doing well. Of course, it is time for the Sassy Saturday special. You already know what time it is. Um, just a few things I want to go ahead and mention for my viewers and my listeners. We got the podcast going, but I want to make it clear a couple of things that are coming up, and especially if you already subscribed to the website at www.thejalministry.com. Click on Saved and Single, which I'm thinking at some point in the future, Saved and Single is probably going to have its own website because there's just so much going on, but I'm going to have to expand that page. But if you actually go to that page and click on subscribe to All Things SaaS, then you would have already gotten the February newsletter. I'm going to start doing the newsletters each month so that my followers, so that everyone knows, all my ladies will know what things are actually coming up, products of the month, different blog postings, all that other good stuff. So three of the things that I've been mentioning that are actually going to be taking place. Two of them are starting this month. One is actually starting next month. One, getting it on. I had to explain to people, read the description. It has nothing to do with sex, but it's actually the dating experiment. It's going to be a couple of months. And again, there are three different levels to it. It depends on how you want to go about doing it, as far as are you looking just to get the ebook, because it is going to have the ebook with the results. I told you all I've been interviewing these men to see what men actually want, like, dislike, everything when it comes to dating. The ebook is going to have all the stuff from the men, all the statistics, everything as far as dating is concerned in general for Christian women, of course. But it's also going to have a cool little section I'm excited about. And that's why I like that you can do it on your phone, because if you are on a date and there's an awkward question or an awkward moment, or you don't know how to respond to something, or you're trying to get out of something, it's going to have a little section in there that is just for people that are actually on a date at that actual moment. But again, the getting it on, it's going to have like the ebook experiment, the ebook thing like that. There's going to be the relationship readiness assessment for those who are actually dating at this point or wanting actual dating coaching as far as how to get a date, and then wanting feedback, professional feedback from myself as far as what you did wrong on a date, or how to get dates and how to get another date, all that other good stuff. There's a certain level for that as well. So it's all about dating. This is, going to be for those ladies who are saying, I'm ready to date, I don't know how, I'm awkward at dating, whatever. And there's, again, three different levels. Yeah, there are different prices, but it's also based on what is it that you're doing. You just kind of want to get your feet wet a little bit. Are you actually ready to date? You're unsure about the whole thing. So yeah, that actually starts the last Friday of this month. So make sure you sign up, and especially for the third option, for those who are ready, it is going to be limited only because personal one-on-one coaching does come with that. And obviously I have a whole lot of other things going on. So I want to be able to focus on people, in groups, or whatever, or stuff, not groups, but yeah, have time to focus on those who are signing up for that option. The other thing that's coming up, the day right after that, the February 23rd, that Saturday, the Loving Me workshop. This is for those ladies who have made it clear that they are struggling a little bit as it pertains to self-love. Again, it's going to be an online workshop. I don't have to see your face. You get to see mine. You don't see anybody else's face. Nobody else sees yours. It's going to be via Zoom. You can get a link where you can go right to the website, or if you have the app. But either way, you all get to see my face. I believe I'll have it set up where there's going to be the chat room. You can all kind of chat with each other, whatever. Again, no judgment, no hate, no none of those things, because these are all women who are just like, hey, I'm kind of struggling in this area a little bit. I say 2 hours just to make sure that, it does allow enough time, but it's going to be me talking. There is going to be, again, I'm going to be talking about how to love yourself. There are going to be tips. There are going to be exercises. There are going to be templates and worksheets that you are also going to be able to download. And for those of you who sign up to that workshop, you get a free copy of my book, The Journey to Love. And you're going to get it, again, for free because you registered for the workshop. And you're going to get it before it even gets released and comes out to anybody else. So again, make sure you register for that. You can find that on the Saved and Single page as well as the coaching page, www.newthinglifecoaching.com. You can find it on there. Third thing I want to mention, I did include in the newsletter the purity journey. That's not starting until March. But again, 3 different tiers, and it just depends on where you're at. And it also, some of them come with like a free copy of my Debunking the Fairy Tale of Boaz book. Some come with the 3 vials of the holy oil, the purification and empowerment oil that also has like hyssop and things like that in it. But yeah, you can get the vials of oil. You can get the engraved ring. I have decided that Jesus comes first. All of the different stuff, but it's for those who are either trying to become pure, trying to stay pure, looking for accountability, all those other things. It's just going to be about sex and purity and whatever else for about 60 days for that one as well. Just wanted to make sure I let you all know. So that's why it's important to subscribe to the website. That is how you stay in the know with everything that is going on and coming up. So because I've been preparing for the Getting It On dating experiment, that is why I have been talking about dating so much this month. That's why I've been talking about it again. The podcast, the Sassy Saturday specials, in the private group, a whole lot of different things. Those of you who, have been following me and you stay connected, I've been talking a lot about dating because, again, I know that some people are at that point where they want to date, but they're not sure how, why, if they could, how that works as far as being a Christian, all that other good stuff. So we've been covering a little bit of everything as far as dating is concerned. You can go back to previous previous Sassy Saturday special videos or podcasts and actually listen to some of the things we've talked about: online dating, desperately dating, a little bit of everything. What I want to talk to you about for just a few moments today is dating without discernment. Dating without discernment. Now, what is discernment? Discernment, it's the ability to judge well in general. Spiritual discernment is something else. That's talking about knowing, truth from error. That's knowing like fact from fiction, things like that. But discernment, and I love what I got from one site that it actually says on a Christian site, for the most part, discernment is just the quality of being able to grasp and comprehend what is obscure. It's an act of perceiving something. It's a power to see what is not evident to the average mind. So it's not biblical in the term that we use it, but if you liking it, it's almost like a step above wisdom and a step above clarity. It's something that you can pray over and get. If you spend time with God, it is something that will increase in your life. It is important to have discernment, this level of discernment, when you are dating because of what it says. It is the act of perceiving something, and it is the power to see what is not evident to the average mind. Discernment is not average. There are levels to it, and some people have a heightened sense of discernment. Some people don't have any discernment. It's different with different people. But dating without discernment is something that you should not do. Many people are dating without discernment, and they are going based off superficial preferences. Go back to when I did the PSP, preferences, standards, and potential. You have to make sure that you are using discernment, using wisdom, using clarity if you are finding yourself being in the dating world and on the dating scene. One thing I always tell women more and more, because everyone is, I'm a godly woman and I want a godly man and I'm waiting on my Boaz and I'm going to do things right this time around, and that is good. However, what is happening is more men are becoming hip to this. More men are starting to realize, okay, if I want a woman, I got to go to the church, or I got to make myself appear to be one way. And a lot of men are coming with the whole, God told me that you were going to be my wife, or I just got a feeling, or I knew when I met you that you were my wife, or doesn't the word say he who finds a wife finds a good thing? If you are somebody that lacks wisdom, and if you lack discernment, you are easily going to be blinded, and you are going to fall into the trap of a counterfeit if you are not careful. Because all you know is that you want a godly man, and now here comes this man saying, God told me you're my wife. It is very, very dangerous to be out here dating without discernment. Now, be honest. How many times maybe have you encountered somebody where warning bells went off and the red flags were raising and everything else, and you met somebody, but then maybe you still went on to date them anyway, or enter into a relationship with them, or even have sex with them? I know a few of you all, we've talked, some of y'all even married these men when you already knew that the warning bells and the red flags and everything was there and all signs were pointing to no, but you did it anyway. Your spirit was already saying run, but a lot of times we think that we can pray them to Jesus. We think they'll change. Oh, they'll get to know God because of who I am. If you can't discern and use wisdom, you need to sit down and you need to spend time with God. And I don't say that to be harsh, but this is not a time we cannot be playing any games right now, y'all. When I tell y'all the devil is busy, the devil is out there using any and everybody to accomplish his works and to get things done. He is out to steal, kill, and destroy every good and perfect and pleasing thing that God has in store for you. So you have to be mindful, because what he is doing is he is sending people, and these men oftentimes look like exactly what it is you want in a man. He looks like everything that you've been praying for, everything that you've been asking for, everything that you've been telling your friends and your coworkers and your relatives. Oh, this is my dream man. This is what he would look like. This is what some of you're praying it out loud. You're saying, God, send me a man who, this, and he looks like this, and he can do this. The devil hears these prayers too. And I don't want to get off subject too much, but this is why I even did a blog, I think, on silent faith. I wrote the ebook on polishing the armor, because what happens is a lot of times I will never tell anyone, be quiet, don't say anything. However, if you don't have discernment, if you don't have a great relationship with God, if you don't know the power of prayer, you have to learn to be quiet, because what happens is as soon as you put something in the atmosphere, guess who hears it? Yeah, God hears it, and he is sending the angels, and they're being dispatched, and they're working out, things in your favor. But now Satan, he's doing the same thing, and he's sending a band of demons, and he's sending them to throw this dart, to do this, to do that, whatever else. In my online church, something I talked about in a message titled The Playing Field a couple of weeks ago, it's like we're on this playing field, and it's like we're trying to get to the other side, because in our mind, God is on the other side of the playing field, and he has the blessings and everything else, but we don't want to go around. We're just sitting here stuck, missing out on our blessings, missing out on everything that we've been praying for and asking for, whether it is materialistic, whether it is healing, whether it is a man, whatever the case might be, all because only thing we can see is an obstacle in the way. That obstacle is coming in the form of fear, doubt, rejection, disqualified, so many different things, because it's the enemy that's right there at as I said, I don't do sports, so what is it, the half-mile marker, I don't know. But on this big playing field, we're over here, and we're trying to get to the other side where God is, but the devil is right there. And of course, his back is to God, but he's looking at us. And if the devil is looking at us, that means he can also see what's behind us. And if he can see what's behind us, that means, guess what? He can see our past. He can see the things that we've done before. He can see the things that have tripped us up before. He can see our weaknesses. He can see the type of men that we typically fall for. We all kind of got that type, right? Mine is tall, dark, and handsome. Devil, I'm hip to that now. Now, if I see someone coming, I don't care if he looks like Idris Elba. I take off running, because I'm like, nope, you the devil. I don't care if you know the Bible backwards. So does the devil. You're the devil. I don't want to talk to you. Bye. Like, the devil has been studying you your entire life. And especially single women, especially single Christian women, because Satan is all against marriage. He's against marriage. He's against the family. He's against the church. So if he can actually stop what God wants to bring together, and if he can get you to not be focused on what it is that God really wants to give you, he wins. He is against everything that is going to cause glory to go to God. So you have to be mindful in this season, because when we say these things out loud and what it is that we want, again, the devil's like, okay, I know what her weakness is. I know, okay, she wants a godly man. Okay, well, let me send someone who's going to give her a few scriptures. I told y'all, I went through this before with the seafood sex guy. Like, he came at me with Bible scripture. So I was like, okay, that's exactly what I asked for. And he was like, yeah, I'm not going to call him a demon, but he was like a demon. Y'all, the devil is looking to trip you up right now. He's going to try hard, and he is going to send somebody that is going to look like exactly what it is that you want. And if you do not have discernment, you are going to think, okay, that he's sent by God. That's exactly what I asked for. That's what I just wrote in my journal. I just told my friend about that. I just prayed to God, and here he comes looking like exactly what I want. Now, however, let me also say this. Without discernment, You can end up meeting somebody who is exactly what it is that you wanted, but then you can say, nope, I know that's nothing but the devil. I don't believe, nope, I don't think God is going to do that. I mean, I just prayed. God doesn't work that fast, or, God's not probably going to give me everything I want. I don't believe that that person is for me. So it's like, just as quickly, if you're not using discernment, you might miss God saying, yes, this is exactly who I have for you. I am confirming this. Keep me at the center. I am giving the blessing, the go ahead, and everything else. This is why discernment is so important, because if you don't have it, you could either find yourself connected to somebody that is sent by Satan, or you can find yourself missing out on somebody that is sent by God. If you can't discern and use wisdom, again, sit this season out and spend time with God. Dating without discernment is dangerous. It is very, very, very dangerous. At one point, like I told you, I did the whole desperately dating thing. I was dating here and dating here, and okay, well, I'm anxious to meet somebody. So it's like, okay, well, this didn't work out. Next, let me go on another date. Let me go on another date. And I was desperately dating in the sense that I was desperate to meet somebody, but I was not desperate to the point that I was settling for anybody. Because no matter what, I still had my relationship with God. I still had my discernment, first of all, even though I underestimated my gift a little bit. But also, I had a praying relationship. I had a relationship with God. So what would happen is I would pray over every man that I came in contact with, and God would always reveal to me their intentions. He would always let me know, that ain't it. Take off running. I'm like, God, show me a sign. And he would show me a sign. And I know when it's God. So there were those times I was like, okay, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm out. Bye. That sign doesn't have to hit me in the face, but so many times. Now, I'll also be honest and tell you that there were times that I didn't pray because I already knew. And I just wanted to have fun for a little bit. And God would allow me to actually be stupid for a bit. And then he would say, okay, you see how that ended up? Bring your butt back over here. Because I was like, me and God, we kind of got a little, that's why I can't get married right now. It's like me and God, we're in our own little weird marriage and our own little relationship right now. I already got somebody to argue with him. And I like arguing with God because I always lose. So it's kind of funny and it makes for great stories. Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. I went through this in a heart exam series with a small group that I host at my church. And I let people know, like, you have to be mindful as far as guarding your heart, because when you don't guard your heart and you let your walls down, somebody else ends up getting access to your heart. And if you're not careful and they end up playing over your heart because you didn't use discernment or wisdom or whatever else, and now you're bitter, you're broken, you're angry, you're hurt, you've got all this baggage and everything else, and you're carrying all those things around with you, and everything you do flows from your heart. So if your heart is damaged, bitter, broken, and bruised, what do you think is going to come from that? Everything you do flows from your heart. So you have to guard your heart. And you guard your heart by praying, by spending time with God, by asking for wisdom, and by seeking guidance. And I'm sorry that I'm talking fast, but I'm passionate about this topic, for one, and for two, because I'm trying to make these videos shorter and not necessarily sermons. I already do sermons on the weekend, so I don't need all these videos to be 45 minutes also. But I never realized that I had the gift of discernment. But I see now that I did, because my spirit will automatically disagree with people. And I can be around like my family or friends, and they're like, oh, I liked her. She was cool. Or, oh, well, that guy was nice. And I just sit there and I'm just quiet. And they're like, what? What is it? What did you see? What didn't you? And I'm like, oh, whatever. And sometimes it does. I don't want to say that it's a bad thing, because I feel like for me, it automatically causes the blinders. For me, I'm just like, like I'll be turned off from someone, because I can already, their spirit is already revealed to me. It's like I already know what it is they're dealing with, what it is they're facing. I already know like what kind of person they are. I already know like what they believe in, like so many different things. So it's a little bit rough, because I can see other people, just having fun. It doesn't always have to be about reading people, and whatever else, but you can just have fun. But at the same time, for me, it's like I can't, because I can't fake things very well. I don't know how to pretend very well. If I don't like you, I don't like you. And if my spirit doesn't agree with you, I'm not going to pretend like it does. And especially, this is why you got to be careful, because a lot of these spirits that are attached to other people, if you're not careful, those things can end up latching onto you. But Christians, funny enough, they don't believe that. And I've never really been quite sure how Christians don't realize that unclean spirits can attach to somebody else if you're not careful. That is those spirits can get passed on, but we don't have time for that right now. So here's the thing. With discernment, some people have it and some people don't. But then the some people that have it, they actually decide they're not going to use it. And I'll never understand the people that ask for the gift of discernment, wisdom, whatever, because those are gifts. Look it up in the New Testament. But those are gifts that some people, they ask for. Some people, God just gives them. But some you can pray. James 1:5 says, ask for wisdom and I'll give it to you. Then he'll give it to you, but then you don't use it. It's like you got the gift, but it's going to waste. Stop wasting the gift that your father gave you for a possible. Like, stop asking for a gift, but then he gives you this gift that most people would kill to have, but you're not even using the gift. Like, he gave you wisdom, but you're making stupid decisions. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm sorry. Not really sorry, because I want y'all to get it. Y'all don't see the kind of emails that I get. Y'all don't see the inbox messages I get. Y'all don't know some of the coaching sessions, the phone conversations, and things like that I have with women. And again, I was stupid once before. And that's why I can say things like stupid or dumb, because I didn't know no better. I really didn't. And now I have to make it my mission to help people by any means necessary, in any way possible. I will continue to do the videos. I will continue to do the podcast, running the website, doing all the different experiments and the master classes and the books and the whatever else and the coaching and whatever. Because if I can help somebody to either get out of the same thing that I was in or to prevent them from ever going into it, I will do that until the day that I die, and I mean it. Until and unless God says, hey, this door is closed. But until that time, I have to get it all out there like now. Your discernment, if you have it, it is not a trophy that needs to be put on a shelf. And I use mine because I don't have any time to waste. I have discerned motives of men from other states, friends and family, and some of them are in this group. And if y'all feel like being honest about some things, comment, do whatever you want. But for those who are watching it in the group, but I know there's also the podcast and the YouTube channel, but they have told me about someone and I just knew. Some of y'all in coaching sessions or conversations, y'all have told me about someone and I could let you know, sis, you're wasting your time on him. I'm sorry that you can't see it. I know you thought he was the one. No, he is not. He is not the one. He's an are not. As I always say, leave it alone. Leave it alone. I can oftentimes hear from a different state, all because someone tells me about somebody. Or times that maybe I did meet somebody and immediately my whole little radar is like, no, like, like, no, I don't even want to shake your hand because I can feel it. I can tell it, whatever. There are times I'm around strangers and random encounters, or someone, wants to introduce me to their boyfriend, their fiance, their husband. That can be hard, y'all, because how do you get to a point where it's like, I know I don't really know you, but no, he's got the homosexuality spirit all throughout him. Like, yeah, he's like, I know you think that, that he's waiting, but it's because he's having sex with somebody else because you're pure right now. Like, it's hard because sometimes with discernment, you really can detect and see things that it's almost like, ooh, I could have gone without knowing and seeing that. I could have gone without feeling that. Because it's hard when it's people that you don't really know, and especially if it's not someone who did not come to you for advice, or they didn't come and ask you, what do you think? And especially if it's not a client that is actually paying you to help them make better decisions as far as their life and while dating and their relationships and whatever else. You can't just go around telling people he's not one for you. He's cheating on you. Run, girl, run. Like, you can't, it can be rough. But again, I don't want to complain because I don't despise the gift at all. It can be a little bit tricky to work with. But anyway, in closing, let me just tell you, spending time with him will increase your ability to detect the fruits in other people, the 9 fruits of the Holy Spirit that Galatians 5 talks about. When you spend time with him, it will increase your ability to detect the fruits in other people. Because if they have a bad spirit, your spirit is going to war with theirs. If they're a good person or whatever, your spirits, they're going to join. They're going to connect, kindred spirits. You're going to feed off of each other in a good way. But having a relationship with God is what is going to protect you from going down certain paths. You have to know the voice of God. So again, I'm telling you, if you don't know the voice of God, if you don't have a great relationship with God, if you don't know how to use wisdom, if you are easily influenced, if you don't have the gift of discernment, if you are desperate to meet somebody right now, please do not date. Do not date. Join up for the Road to Contentment Masterclass I'm doing right now and find your contentment. Me and a group of ladies, we're in the middle of it, but I'm not going to make you start in the middle. I will start you over from the beginning. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, it's still up until tomorrow at midnight or tomorrow at 11:59. I actually have it 60% off right now. Add add the masterclass to your cart on the Saved and Single page, www.savedandsingle or jalministry.com. Click on Saved and Single, add the Road to Contentment Masterclass, and at checkout, you have to do R2, the number 2, R2C Feb for February, and it will take 60% off. And it's all about contentment. Let's look at love. Let's look at your purpose, your passion, self-awareness. We're about to do a bucket list, all kind of good stuff. I said we focused on love this entire past week. Self-love, God's love, the different types of love, all this other good stuff. But don't be anxious to date or meet somebody right now. I've explained before, that's why I'm always creating different products and master classes and everything else, because I serve a wide group of women. So I want it to be where there's always something for those who are, again, content, for those who are healing, for those who, purity, dating, whatever. Well, in a couple of months, we're going to do the We Will One. It's going to be for those who went through everything else and they're like, you know what? Like, I'm in a committed relationship or I'm engaged or what, like I'm saying, we will win at our marriage. Like, we're going to talk all about marriage and now. And if you're single or dating, whatever, but I'm not even talking about that. That's months and months and months down the line. Stay connected. www.thejalministry.com. Click on save or click on the little box, subscribe to all things SaaS, and you will get the newsletter and you will know about specials and products and deals that only people that I have their email address for that will get. Again, upcoming events. What is coming up? Getting it on the dating experiment. You can do that on the website. Click on the dating. You can do that at the JAL site, clicking on Saved and Single, and the New Thing Coaching website, www.newthinglifecoaching.com. Again, I'm still in the process of separating the business and the ministry and whatever else. So eventually everything will be moved over to the coaching site. But the dating experiment, again, limited for those who are going to want one-on-one coaching with me for that one. Sign up for the Loving Me workshop, the online workshop. Again, that one is limited as well because Zoom does have there's a max capacity for webinars. So sign up for that. Again, about 2 hours a Saturday. You can do it from bed, whatever. Get your coffee, your hot tea, or whatever it is that you're going to do. If you subscribe or if you register and for whatever reason you can't tune in at that time, you will have access to it as long as you pay before it starts. You will have access to be able to go back and replay, and you will still get all the things that were promised to you. So no worries there. And again, Purity Journey, go to the Saved and Single SaaS page on Facebook, page on Facebook, and you'll see there's an event on there for the Purity Journey. And that's, again, for those who are already abstinent or wanting to become abstinent. Same thing. We're gonna go through all this together. So I love you all. God bless you all. Please go subscribe to the site, follow on Instagram, like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. I'm here for you, and I cannot wait to connect with you all later. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.